Hi, everyone. This is Crystal from Portugal. And today I am so blessed to have our amazing attorney with us today. And his name is Gabriel. And Gabriel, I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Okay, Crystal, thank you very much for having me. It's a great pleasure for us from Eurogate Immigration to have this opportunity to talk to you and go through the details of the Portuguese programs for residencies. I'll be super happy to share the experience that we have. Just to introduce a little bit about myself. I am originally from Brazil. I had my own law firm in Brazil. I was professor at the university in the law school in Brazil. And back in 2019, I was approved in the PhD program of the Lisbon University to study economic analysis of law. So I decided to come here. The idea is to come to study 1 year and go back to Brazil to return to the life that I used to have there. But I had a big problem, and the problem was that I felt in love for this country. I feel like totally amazed by this place, by the peace of life, and for me it was simply impossible to go back. And I decided to stay here in Portugal. I said, I want to do this professionally to transform the people's life how Portugal did with myself. So I decided to start working into immigration law to dedicate myself to it, especially because I did all of this process. When I'm receiving the clients, I know exactly what they are feeling. I feel that I have more ties with the clients because I experience myself what is an immigration journey, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm doing this since I'm very, very, very happy with the decision that I made back then. I feel this place as my home. I can tell you that we have clients coming from many different backgrounds. We assist here in the office more than 80 different nationalities, what is super great. And all of the clients, they say the same. They feel home here. They feel they can adapt here. They feel they can be part of the society.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly how we felt. And Gabriel, we started with a different attorney, and there are quite a few processes that I think people are rightfully kind of afraid of even starting the journey of
Mm.
coming over. And it was really helpful for us. And then when it was time to renew, we found you, and we were just so thrilled with working with
Mm.
you. You are so responsive and so kind. I think that's so important when someone is immigrating and are scared and don't really know what to expect, to know that they have someone on your side no matter what, who's going to call you. And even if some crazy appointment pops up, you call us and we go and things get done. So thank you for that very much.
You are welcome. I'm super
Yeah.
happy to hear that. And naturally, like dealing with immigration, we need to understand that the clients are coming from different backgrounds. We need to first to explain what the law says, and
Yes.
second to explain how the process is in the real life,
Yeah.
because the paper receives everything that we want to put in the paper,
Mhm.
but the real life is something totally different. And
Sure
what we
is.
can share with the clients is real life, the experience itself. So it helps to assist the clients in their needs.
I love the way that you do that. So I thought we could talk a little bit about if someone has been playing around with it in their mind to move to Portugal or even just starting to think of it. I have a friend in this situation right now, but she doesn't really know how to start. So if you're in any, we happen to come from the United States, we had really zero clue about how to start, where to start, and what the steps were. So maybe you could tell us if you've made that decision, you've come and you visited Portugal, you decided that this is your place to live, as we did. We felt the same way as you did, never going back. We love United States, but we love the calmness. We love the people in Portugal. We love the food and the healthcare, everything. But there are a little bit of bureaucratic steps to go through. I'm going to put your information in the comments in the video so people can get in touch with you. What's your recommendation about where to start just from the very beginning? I'm sitting at my house, whatever country I'm in, and I'm thinking, I want to start the application process. What do I do?
Okay, so
Yeah.
to start, the most important decision is to decide. Okay, and I mean to be sure what you really want for your life and what is the plan for your near future. So this is the job that the client will do. Will make a lot of research, and then we realize, yes, I want to go to Portugal. And then comes the second part, is the part that we as lawyers, we can assist the client to understand the different pathways to achieve a residence permit. It's important to say, every client is unique. It has its own background, on intentions, on desires, on dreams, and we need to communicate with the client and understand what he's looking for.
Yes.
Especially because in Portugal, we have different pathways to achieve a residence visa and later a residence permit. So first, visa is the document, is a sticker they will put in your passport, is an authorization for you to enter the country with some intention. After you visit the consulate, you receive the visa and you come to Portugal to do your residence permit. That is a residence card, is a document that allows you to stay, to work, to do everything that is needed in a normal life. First, we explain this difference. Visa that we apply before the Portuguese consulate to receive an authorization to enter the country. And once we enter the country, we do the residency.
Yes, I just wanted to specify because we have a lot of people from the US and Canada that watch this channel. In the US, I think we learned a lot, and the attorney was so important in this for us. In the US, there are, I believe, 3 centers that you start with in the US first. And you have to get your visa first before you come here. If you're just visiting Portugal, you can stay here for 90 days. But if you have an intent to live here, you need to get that in your own country first, and then you come here and apply for the visa, correct?
This is a very important note, because your visa is always related to your intention. The Portuguese consulate will check what kind of visa that you're looking for and if you are suiting the category, right? So this is the first thing that is needed to have in mind.
And you can help with this, right?
Portugal?
So give instructions before
Yes.
everybody says, oh my gosh, I'm already out, because it sounds like a lot.
But I'll try to be fast to explain more or less the different categories of visas that we have for Portugal. Okay, I can tell you that the main visas are related. 1, to work. 2, as a passive income. 3, a digital nomad. And 4 is a golden visa, is the investment. I will put in, and by 50, I can put the students as well. Okay, so we have these main programs for Portugal. First part, based on work, we have 3 categories. We have the worker itself. For an example, a Portuguese company offers a job position for an immigrant. We'll take this job offer and apply for the work visa. The applicant can create its own work. He can be a self-employed. We have this possibility as a freelancer, for an example. And for an example, I have a client that moved to Portugal because of its freelancing activities. He's a photographer. We have also the other possibility as entrepreneur. You come to Portugal, establish a company, and this company will run activities in Portugal and be the support for the application. We have also the D7 visa that we have many clients coming from US and Canada because this is granted for those that can show they have means of subsistence available in Portugal, roughly 10,000 euros with a passive income.
Yes.
By
So
passive
is that per
income,
month or per year, Gabriel?
this is in a year.
Many other people around the world can't believe that number is so low because the income in Portugal for the residents is lower here than it was from where we came from. So what Gabriel just told you is the number that you need to make in a year, not a month, correct?
Yes, exactly. Those that can show they already have this money available.
Which
So
can
normally
be in the form of retirement, or it could be investments, or many different things.
Exactly. So mainly the D7 is connected to what we call passive income. Passive income can be generated through retirement, pension. If you have a property and it's rented out, you can show the lease agreement, so you're receiving the rent on the property, bank interest, stocks, everything that you can show that you have an investment and is receiving a return of at least roughly 820 euros per month for the main applicant, you are totally eligible. And that's why, especially for clients coming from the North America, it's so attractive. Because to be honest, it's easy to be suitable for the program, right? So that's why we have many D7 clients coming from this part of the globe. Beyond that, beyond the residence through work or through the passive income, it was created in October 2023, a specific type of residence visa that is the digital nomad visa. That is super common as well. So you won't believe how many remote workers we have. And for sure, the pandemic changed this, and in a way that is difficult to size it.
Yeah.
For the digital nomads, what Portugal wants to see is that the applicant is working for a company that established outside Portugal and is receiving at least 3,280 euros per month. This amount is based on 4 times the minimum salary of Portugal. So it's important to be aware about that. And it's super common to have this possibility, especially nowadays. So we have many applicants through this program. Also, to don't take too much time and explain a little bit of each one of them, we have the student program, right? We have the student program for university, to do the bachelor degree, to do a master's, or to do a qualification course or PhD program. We have the student way that is also suitable for the visa and the residence permit. And finally, we have another type of residency we call golden visa. The golden visa is the possibility to achieve a residence permit through investment. Investment in 3 categories. The most important is a fund. You can invest 500,000 in a fund in Portugal. You can invest in scientific research or cultural heritage conservation, let's say, 250. And finally, we have also the possibility to invest 500,000 in a company that creates at least 5 different work positions. So roughly, we have these pathways to achieve a residence permit. We have based on work, based on passive income, a digital nomad, a student, and investment. So these are the main attractive ways. Naturally, we have also the possibility for family reunion, for medical treatment. You won't believe how many different residencies, the types that we have here in Portugal. As lawyers, we need to communicate with the client and understand his background and what he's looking for, and explaining the different pathways that we have here in Portugal. I think that's why it's super important to have an assistance in this program, because you can select exactly what you are looking for, right?
And I
What's the
would
best
say,
for you?
yeah, I would also say that the government works differently here. Of course, this is not the country we were living in. This is Portugal, and it works in the Portugal way. And sometimes I think it took me 2 years to just calm down from stress that I was used to living in. There's so much beauty here and things that people watch about why we love to live here. And we still will live here forever, probably, hopefully. We just love Portugal. But there are some bureaucratic things that happen with visas. There's some changes and some things that take more time. Things like also getting a bank account, which in the US is super easy, is a little bit different when you're coming in from another country.
Especially coming from the USA,
Mm-hmm.
because the USA looks for you where you are. And that's why they have many agreements with the banks internationally that the local banks, they need to report your activities to USA.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it become more tricky to get a bank account for Americans, for an example. And that's why it's important the lawyers can help and to navigate in this road and explain everything that you need to explain, especially with the compliance, to make a process. Okay, we know exactly what the authorities, let's say, are looking for. We can say it applies for the banks, and it applies for the consulate, and applies for the immigration office here in Portugal that nowadays is called AIMA. So it's important to have this experience to know what they are looking for, what they want to see.
Speaks Portuguese is priceless.
Yes, exactly. And it's needed. And trust me, because we need to remember that Portugal is a very small country, especially when you compare to USA, for an example. We are just 11 million. Sometimes even we go to the immigration office and there are some attendants, they do not speak Portuguese. Sometimes they have a second language, but it's not English.
Right.
Being an assistant, it's important for that, like to know exactly what to prepare and when to deliver, how to deliver. It's like some details that are important.
Yes. And you've been just so wonderful with us getting things done. We have friends now that we've met that have moved here from different, some of them tried to do it on their own, some of them still don't have a visa. So I am a huge advocate. I really think I probably would have lost it if we didn't have guidance and your guidance. And it was so much easier for you to remind us and let us know what's coming up and what we need to do. And in that case, it just gets done so much faster. So thank you. It is just so refreshing to meet an attorney who's so invested in you as a person and so
Yeah,
helpful.
yeah, that's good. But like we are here for that, right? We have to, especially myself, when I can put myself in the position of the client. I understand how frustrating can be sometimes to deal with the bureaucracy.
Mhm.
We have a system that is based on bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is good when it's organized, when it's efficient, because the idea of bureaucracy is for us to know what the administration wants from our side. That's why the laws are important. And in this sense, regarding the laws, Portugal is very check the box. Let's say, if we provide the list of documents that they are looking for, we get a good feedback. We get the approvals of the visas, we get the approvals of the residence permit. But we need to do exactly what is written in the law, and we need to provide exactly in the way they want it.
Right.
So I think the secret sometimes is in the way they want,
Absolutely.
and to be prepared for exactly what they're looking for. Naturally, as lawyers, sometimes we find some problems here and there, but is everything that we can do, we can address, we
Mm.
can correct, we can organize. This is what is important to have in mind.
Yes, absolutely. And just for everyone's information, I'm going to be putting in the comments section Gabriel's website and email address. And he does have room to take in some folks. I will tell you that we actually had a couple of attorneys. The very first one was difficult and maybe not the right match. But I'll say all the way to Gabriel, it's just been such a blessing to work with you. And thank you for taking time out of your very busy day to be with us today.
No, thank you. It's a pleasure. I decided to be lawyer to help people. You can't believe how happy we are, not just me, but all the team here, how happy we are when our clients are achieving their goals. When the visa is granted, when they arrive here, we go to the immigration office and the residence permit is granted. When we do a process to apply for the citizenship, that is there's another thing that is important to important to tell that people sometimes they don't know that Portugal, it's so open and friendly that if you live here 5 years and you have the basic level of Portuguese, it's super basic, trust me, you are eligible for the citizenship. You become a Portuguese citizen. While in other European countries, it's 10 years to become a citizen, 13 years. Or we have clients coming from some specific countries that it doesn't matter how long you live there, you never become a local. I have one client that lived 45 years in one specific country, working for the government, and then come the COVID, a lot of problems. He had to go around because he was fired and he doesn't want to go back to his birth country. Here is totally the opposite. You become a local and you integrate. So that's the one thing that we really like. And when we see a client receiving his citizen card, its passport, just last week we did exactly that for a client of ours coming from USA. Lived here 5 years. We applied for the citizenship and then we went there to collect the passport. And it was such a joy that
Celebration.
we know that this is a change. And again, this is a change for the life because once you are Portuguese, you can also grant the citizenship to your spouse and to your descendants. So it will be not just the person, but the generations coming after.
We're going to
And
have champagne with you, Gabriel. When we get ours, it's going to be
yeah,
fantastic.
yes, we need to celebrate, and we need to celebrate.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely. Thank
um,
you again so very much. I will definitely have your information up. I cannot recommend Gabriel and his team enough. You have just been wonderful to us, and we look forward to our Citizenship Day.
for sure, soon. It will come
Very
soon. It
soon.
will be a pleasure. It will be always a pleasure.
All
Thank you
right.
very much, Lisa, to having me.
Thank you. Bom
Really appreciate
dia.
it.
Boa
Bom
tarde.
dia. Até logo.
Awesome.
Até logo.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you so much, Gabriel.
Thank
Talk
you.
soon.
Thank you. Bye bye. See you. Bye bye.